There was a man called Olu. He was well known in his town, a hardworking farmer who owned large plantations. Because of his work, he often stayed away from home for weeks. Olu had 2 wives, and this made his compound lively but also full of secret quarrels. His first wife was Ngozi, a kind and gentle woman. She had 2 children. Her first child was Amara, a 17-year-old girl in SS3. Amara was very bright in school. Teachers loved her because she was disciplined and respectful. She represented her school in competitions, came home with prizes, and passed her West African examination with high grades. Whenever Amara walked in the street, people greeted her warmly, and mothers told their daughters to be like her. Ngozi's second child was Chidi, a 15-year-old boy in SS2. He was hardworking, humble, and always ready to help. When others wasted their time, Chidi washed plates, fetched water, and read his books. He dreamed of becoming an engineer, and his teachers often said, "This boy will go far." The second wife was Rashida. She was very different. Where Ngozi was kind, Rashida was harsh. Where Ngozi was patient, Rashida was quick to anger. She had 2 children of her own, but they did not bring her joy. Her son Sule was 16. He had been in the same class as Chidi, but he dropped out of school. Instead of studying, he followed bad friends, smoked cigarettes, and wasted his father's money. Her daughter, Zainab, was 14 and in SS1. She was rude, always bullying younger children in school, and never listened to advice. People whispered that Zainab was exactly like her mother, quarrelsome and full of pride. Whenever Olu returned home from his plantations, he noticed the difference between the children. Amara would run to greet him, bowing politely and bringing water to wash his hands. Chidi will collect his bags and ask about the farm. Sule will stay out of sight, hiding with his bad friends. And Zainab will roll her eyes and mumble. Olu's heart was heavy, but whenever he saw Amara and Chidi, he smiled. He often said, "These 2 will carry my name with honor." Those words caught Rashida deeply. She saw how her husband adored Ngozi's children and how the villagers praised them. Each medal Amara brought home, each word of praise for Chidi became like fire in Rashida's chest. Jealousy grew inside her heart until it turned into pure hatred. She said to herself, "If Amara and Chidi are born, my children will inherit everything. People will have no choice but to respect me."
At first, Rashida tried small ways to harm them. She spread lies in the village, saying Amara was rude and Chidi once stole money, but nobody believed her. Everyone knew the truth about Ngozi's children. Then, she hid Amara's uniform and books on the morning of a competition, hoping she would miss school. But Chidi found them and saved his sister. Amara went on to win, and Rashida boiled with anger. Another time, she sent Zainab to scare Chidi with a false story that thieves were on the road so they would stay home and miss their exams. But an old woman selling water overheard and rebuked Zainab, and once again, the plan failed. These failures only hardened Rashida's heart. She wanted something final. She wanted a plan no one could undo. One market day, Rashida went out with heavy steps. In a corner, she found an old woman selling herbs and powders. Rashida whispered her dark desire. The old woman looked at her, then gave her a small packet tied with string. In a low voice, she said, "Add this to food. The one who eats it will not wake again." Rashida's heart jumped. She paid quickly and hid the packet deep in her wrapper. That day, Rashida decided to use Ngozi's cooking pot. She knew the children trusted their mother's food. If she cooked in Ngozi's pot, Amara and Chidi would never suspect anything, and if anything happened, she could blame Ngozi. The thought made her smile. When Ngozi went to the stream with other women, Rashida set Ngozi's pot on the fire. She peeled yams, poured palm oil, and cooked porridge that smelled so sweet it made even her mouth water. When the stew was nearly ready, she poured in the powder and stirred carefully. This is the end of their praise. My children will rise at last. She covered the pot and sat waiting. But fate does not always follow the plans of man. Before Amara and Chidi returned from school, Sule and Zainab came home. They had been roaming about, their uniforms dirty, their faces sweaty. They smelled the food, saw the pot, and ran to it. They did not care if it was their mother's pot or Ngozi's pot. Their bad behavior made them greedy. They lifted the lid and began to serve themselves. Rashida froze. Her lips trembled. She wanted to stop them, but fear tied her tongue. If she shouted, they would ask why. So she stood there watching her own children eat the food meant for another. At first, Sule and Zainab laughed while eating, but minutes later, Sule coughed hard, his chest heaving. Zainab screamed and clutched her stomach. Their bowls dropped, food spilling across the floor. They twisted on the ground, crying in pain. Rashida screamed louder than anyone. "No! My children! Somebody help!" Ngozi came rushing back with Amara and Chidi, and what they saw froze their blood. Sule and Zainab lay on the floor, shaking, their eyes rolling back. Neighbors rushed in. Someone ran for the healer, but it was too late. The children took their last breaths and silence filled the compound. Then Rashida tried her last wickedness. She pointed at the pot and cried, "It is Ngozi's pot. She cooked this food. She has killed my children." For a moment, some people were shocked. Could gentle Ngozi have done such a thing?
But the neighbors spoke up. They said no. Ngozi was with us at the stream all day. She never entered this kitchen. Others remembered seeing Rashida carrying the pot earlier. A little boy said he saw her near the fire since morning. The truth became clear. The elders searched her wrapper and found the empty packets. Everyone knew then that Rashida had planned the evil herself. From that day, Rashida's life collapsed. Shame covered her like a heavy cloth. She could not walk proudly again. That night, she left the compound quietly, her face wet with tears. By morning, no one saw her. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months, and Rashida never returned. People said she was too ashamed to face the truth. No one knew where she went, and no one has seen her till today. Meanwhile, Amara and Chidi continued to shine. Olu held them close, thanking God for their lives. Ngoli remained calm and gentle, reminding her children never to let jealousy or hatred rule their hearts. And so the story is told, again and again, around fires at night and in courtyards by day, teaching everyone that envy destroys, lies crumble, and wickedness always returns to its owner. If you've learned a lesson from this story, take a moment to subscribe. More stories are coming your way. Stories that open your eyes and keep you alert. Don't miss the next one. Hit that subscribe button now.